So I'm asking all these questions to Yahuah. Is this it? Is there more? Is there more that I can be doing in my life? Because basically, I was a bit discontented with my life. I wanted more life in my life. I wanted to live more. And then I started thinking of what Yeshua came to do. He came to give us life and life more abundantly. And I started asking those questions. Where is this life and life more abundantly? You know, where is this overflow? Where is this time where you are just able to just breathe, relax, you know, and you've come to the point to where you're in your life and you're just like, wow, it just doesn't get any better than this. And I just didn't have that moment of, it just doesn't get any better than this. And I'm seeking that moment. And so I'm asking Yahuah, is this it? Is this all? Do I just get up and just keep going to work and paying bills every day and being in the matrix and on this hamster wheel? When can I get off of this hamster wheel? And then I hear something in my spirit. And what I hear in my spirit, I'm like, oh my gosh. What I hear in my spirit is yes. And I'm glad you asked. And I was like, here we go. Because one thing about my conversations with Yahuah that I know is that when I ask him something, he truly gives me a response. Now, it may not always be the response that I want, but he does give me a response. And usually it is in the form of another question, right? So when I heard yes, and I'm glad you asked, it put me back into this song that I have been singing for over probably about 20 years. And the song is called Yes. And the lyric of the song says, will your heart and soul say yes? Will your spirit still say yes? If I told you what I require of you, will you give me a resounding yes? And so as I am wrestling now in the spirit with what is about to come, Yahuah reminds me there is always more that he wants us to be doing. And so I remember back to when I was a bit younger, several years ago, back in my 30s, I asked Yahuah, what more can I do for you? And I asked that question because I had made some decisions in my life at that time that I felt were unfavorable for me. Now that I know that everything that we go through, we're not behind, we're actually right on schedule. But because I felt inadequate at that time, I was asking Yahuah almost kind of like the same question, but I didn't realize this time when I was asking that question that it almost lined up with the question that I asked him before. And it was, what can I do extraordinary for you? That was the question back in that time. And I've asked other questions throughout my life, but I'm very careful how I ask, because when you ask Yahuah a question, especially the hard questions, the questions that seem like you're going to have to be bigger than yourself to actually be able to accomplish it, he does come back with detailed answers, but they come with questions and they come with sacrifice. And so the question that I asked him years ago was, what can I do extraordinary for you? And as I am doing my thing, booking performances, I get a call from a family member and she says, hey, can you come to Boston and sing for your brother's, your god brother's wedding? And I said, sure. And so I get on a plane and I go to Boston with the rest of the family members, and I'm there to, perform my best and to sing and to do what I love to do best. And then in the midst of getting ready to go to the reception and attempt to do the electric slide, because I say attempt because I am a singer, not a dancer. But I go and get undressed, and at that time I was sharing a room with a lady that I wasn't familiar with, but she needed to share a room. And I told her she could come share a room with me and my mom, and she could just, kind of hang out and chill out with us. And as I was having a conversation with her and we were getting ready to go to the reception, I noticed that she had this kind of strange gadget kind of hooked into her neck, and what that was a port. And as she was telling me her story about her having lupus and how lupus usually goes and attacks, your liver or your kidney, all of a sudden I hear in the backside of my mind, yeah, give that lady your kidney. And I'm like, wait, what? And before I knew it, I was telling her, well, I'll give you my kidney. And she was just like, what? You'll give me your kidney? And she's looking at me like, who does that? But when you ask Yahuah, what can I do for you extraordinary? You never think you're going to have to give an organ to someone else. And so when I heard Yahuah say, well, I'm glad you asked, it put me back in that mindset of that journey that I went through to donate my kidney. But that's another story for another time. But as I am getting over the shock of hearing Yahuah say, oh, I'm glad you asked, then he asked me these series of questions. And those questions are you willing to do what I tell you to do? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to come out of your comfort zone to get this life and life more abundantly? To get the what else can I do for you, Yahuah? Are you willing to trust me when you cannot see how to do it? Because I'm going to take you all the way out of your comfort zone to get you to the question that you asked me. Is there something more? And he said, yes, there is. I want to thank you again for taking the time to just chill out and spend this time with me. It's been enjoyable. I'm going to continue this conversation with you tomorrow. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. But when you ask Yahuah, is there something more? I want you to understand there's always something more, but be prepared. Be prepared for what comes next. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow. Until I see you again, take care and stay in prayer.